Welcome. And, so I'm just a man that can buy around. And I always should have been allowed to. There was a misconception that I was with. I got a big nose, and they say Pinocchio grew a big nose too. Because I kept going and I lied too much. Well, I'm not much of a liar, I'm just very secretive. And I don't tell people everything I'm up to. Some know genuine people, and some know genuine people. And I'm genuine, and I am. And I was like somebody that was upriver in a place called Pasteloro, across the river from where I lived as a kid, behind the greenhouse. Well, I lived there as a kid. And I lived there when I had a dog named Duke, and well, Duke was, you know, he had to be put down because I wasn't home. I never heard much about it, but I gave a guess that Brendan and Kyle were throwing rocks at him, and because me and Brendan and Kyle had a fight once when I first moved to that neighborhood, Carey Road. It was at Christmas, and it's snowing out. Curtis was up on the hill by the fence, and well, I dropped Kyle and I dropped Brendan, and then those two hate me for it. Me and Curtis don't have a problem, and well, that was when I first got to the neighborhood, and that's why those two hate me. They're probably throwing rocks at Duke, the dog, and well, he probably broke the chain as he's pissed off getting hit with rocks from like across, probably in Ramona's front yard. They're just throwing rocks at him, being cruel. Those two are cruel because their father was cruel. That's where they get their cruelty from. And if they're watching, I don't know. But Brendan, I don't really like him because he doesn't like me. So, and he's playing it off like, he didn't drug me during there. And he did drug me in 2015, and that's where it started. He drugged me, Brendan Dion. And I don't fear these guys because they know who I am from my teenage years. And they think they're going to get me back as Kyle's in colors now. Now he's prospecting. Well, that's nice. He's way down the chain. And they don't know that there's only one chapter between three cities. And I don't know who the president is. I must have hit my head when I woke up. And, well, certain people are stateside and other people aren't. Certain people haven't been in Canada since the 60s. And that's not my problem. It's not my area of expertise. I'm not a lawman. I'm not a lawyer. And I'm not anything to do with that. And I'm not a policeman. And so, for me, it's pretty cut and dry. It's none of my business. But Kyle, he doesn't know a fucking thing because he's probably not even watching this. And well, I know why he hates me because I dropped. Those two never talked about it at all. Curtis probably never told anybody. And it was their father that wanted to push the lawsuit for the dog, and he did attack him, but Kyle was too. I bet you he beat the dog with a 2x4, and he was too. He let the dog lay there, and my dad had to shoot it because it was injured, and had to bury the dog, and well, that's key, and that's dad still, and I never had to hear much about it because he never even spoke to me about it. That was my dog, and my brother would have tried to look for Francis. Brett Hayden would have looked for Francis there too, but I don't think it was ever Corey that wanted the lawsuit to happen because she knew the real story, and that's Kyle's mother, and he's a prospector, he's a biker now. He doesn't own a Harley, but he's a Jehovah's Witness too. They won't be happy about that. They probably don't like those type of people in their ranks. Not the ranks, but I met a nice woman once. She was going door to door for Jehovah's Witness, and she was wonderful. She invited me down to the temple in Kamloops, and I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but I have no problem with any religion or anything like that. I just passed out as I was awake earlier, and well, I'm just talking about things, and I'm just wondering about things, and wonder about a lot of things, but doesn't really need to discuss it here. I'm just wondering if Kyle and Brendan have had their revenge yet. Killing my dog off or beating him half to death wasn't enough. And then, well, my dad obviously isn't a nomad. I've always probably known that, and Harley the Helldinger, one of the two. He has a Harley. There's a Z on the plate. That's for Queen Elizabeth II, not for St. Savage. You two do business too. You guys are Broden or Peter or Paul or Tony. You and Tony know each other, but he knew I was a drug dealer in high school, and I moved millions and millions of dollars worth of product when I was in high school. But I was never caught because basically I was on probation all the time, and nobody seen me coming. And I have my probation meeting every 2 weeks, and there's no statute of limitations in Canada, so it's all fiction at its finest. And I could be lying. And that was a force of nature, similar to like how someone like, well, I was not like him at all because he's a completely different man, but similar to how like John Gotti was a force of nature his whole career. And I've kind of been a quiet person most of my life, and I don't say much. And I have a certain reputation, but for the last from 2010 to 2013, I just sold small bag weed. And I did. In my teenage years, I really, I did well. I have a fearsome reputation from the men that know me from back then, and they don't. And another than the 80 Plus Club now would have their estimations because, well, they knew of me from back then, and they knew of me along the way, but I've changed. I'm a different man, and they simply put BC bikers, and that's a specific genre of bikers because there's more than one motorcycle club in the world. There's 4 major ones out of the United States, and the one that takes air away from people up in Kamloops here, and around the province of BC. Well, they're not the only ones around, and simply put, the Outlaws Motorcycle Club has never bothered me, never once, in any way, shape, or form. And it's the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club of BC. They're the ones in BC that they've defected on everyone else, as far as I can tell. And they do their own thing up here since the 80s. And I think the head of the Nomads is somebody that my dad used to know. He doesn't know him anymore. He doesn't know who he's become. And he doesn't understand how many dead bodies that man's created, whoever he is. And if he, and nobody's seen him around, he just does something by video. He was trying to frame out me and my dad. And I take a guess because nobody told me, but I'm pretty sure he was pretending to be a key on camera for all the syndicates around the world, and someone was pretending to be Cody on camera, and I'm here, and it's not me, and this all closed circuit, and if he was trying to frame up me and my dad completely. My dad's a good man, he trucked legally for, all those years, and he's Guy Dag, he's not Dr. Dag, different, and that's their play, and he's just doing it if he tells him to do, and he doesn't have to do that anymore, but he doesn't want to think that I don't have his back, and well, they tried framing me up already this year, and he was just doing what he's told. One thing he won't do is kill me, and neither will Christy. And that's what if he wants to, those two to kill me. And they won't because they don't want to kill me, so they don't have to. It's okay. They don't have to. And because they're both nomads, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And I know they're feared men. But the point of the nomads is when I read the book Hells Angels at War when I was 13, I studied it. I never told any of my peers that. None of them. I read it after my brother passed. Grandma Shirley said something about the Hells Angels. She was mad that Mom thought it was the Hells Angels that killed Brett, but he committed suicide. And he called from the hospital, and I stand beside my decision that I didn't take that call because I was still mad at him for throwing my mother down the stairs in Richmond. And I always probably thought I didn't want him to kill himself, but I wanted him to be hurt. And Crystal Ann drugged him, and that's why he was in the hospital. My mom probably doesn't even know that. She's probably oblivious to this YouTube account. So my dad might be watching, but he might not be. If he wouldn't want him to watch it, he wouldn't want him to know the truth. As if I seen him. Well, accidentally. I made him like a mob guy makes a cop, and well, he didn't want me to see him. And are you okay? And he asked me if I was okay. He didn't realize it was me, but you can sense it, man. My cat looked at me that night and looked at me with disgust that I didn't run him off the road. I'm not gonna. It's not my business to. He's got to have proper sit downs. Did a call come in the one night and he didn't pick it up from New York State? I got a call from New York State the other week, and I picked it up. No problem. It was a great honor to be called from New York State. And if he had, I didn't have to pick up those calls anymore. Yeah, right. And I guess I'm not the little bitch, eh? Everybody was forced to say something, and I guess Brandon works as Emma Whedon. I guess he didn't report my mom's car being parked out front of 2255 Middle Suite and Top Suite when I was living there. I wasn't living there at the time, I don't think, but somebody, Jason Robertson, didn't pay enough because they smoked my mom's car. 2 cars got written off, and then Jason Robertson didn't pay enough when Tyler Asen was hit. It was a hit and run. So I guess Dad, he doesn't want that to happen in his family, but he knows now that it wasn't me. It wasn't because of me. It's because you're Buddy Iffy. And I'm not the one in the family causing the grief. It's you. So why don't you go back and fucking shoot yourself? You could have brought the dog to the vet. Or is he too badly hurt? Hello? Hey, sorry, I'm just streaming. I'm streaming.
Are you?
I'm What I know, nobody knows. I am like a
You know a
lock,
lot of people,
safe.
right?